Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Holla podcast, where we have a desire to build community and mindset through conversation and results. Please share, like, and subscribe to this podcast and join us weekly as we continue to be brave leaders that are accountable to communicating knowledge to the world, one episode and action at a time. Well, this is your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman, here once again, just diving into how we can be better, talking about brave leaders that are accountable to communicating knowledge and building up our community. Now, for those who don't know me, I am a national motivational speaker and trainer around mindset and goals. I also host and MC live events, from nonprofit fundraisers to athletic events to facilitating corporate meetings and trainings as well. I'm a husband and father of two that truly believes it is my purpose to share the love that I have for community and people to help others become better each and every single day. So let's dive into the latest Holla Black podcast episode right here, right now. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Yes, we're back with another podcast. Man, I hope you enjoyed the last podcast, because I truly enjoyed recording it. And it was such a pleasure, such a some of the feedback that I got was really good and really high. So please continue to give that feedback, and also let me know on some different topics that you all might be interested in hearing. So this topic today that we're going to dive into is titled Course Correct. Course Correct. Like, how do you be on one path and correct that course? If you see that it's going down the wrong way, down the wrong road, so to speak, how do you course correct, right? If you made a left turn when you should have made a right, how do you course correct? So that's what we're going to talk about. One of the thoughts, one of the things that I definitely wanted to start off by saying with this is, if you don't have the life that you want, change the mindset. And success starts off with the mind. Just think about that for a second. Success starts off with the mind, right? So mentally, I need to be prepared. I need to be a little bit more engaged, intrigued. I need to, kind of motivate myself, inspire myself each and every single day, and recognizing that there are so many different things that are around me that can motivate me and take me off my course, right? So I need to stay motivated and focus, tunnel vision, so to speak, on the things that need to happen, right? So pushing, we always talk about this, right? Pushing forward, pushing through, moving the needle, right? Needle moving activities. We need to continuously think about, like, hey, what is positive in my life, and what are the things negatively drawing me away from the place that I want to be? I want to be in better shape. So what I just started was this 100 days to the end of the year, right? Just some fitness, some mental, some really foundational pieces, right? Bringing it back to the basics: faith, family, fitness, and fashion, right? But focusing in, narrowing down now on my values, on my beliefs, on the things that I believe will help me to achieve greatness. And guess what? If I continue to be 1% better each and every single day, then after that 100 days, I'm expecting myself to be 100% better. I'm talking about a new and improved Ronell, right? Ronell Blackman, your favorite host and MC, is constantly working on becoming and being the absolute best that I can be, right? So if you don't have the life that you want, change the mindset. And success in any realm, especially relationships, starts off with the mind. So let's talk about controlling your mind. With that, I would love to give some daily manifestations, some things that you all can chew on for the week, and a few I ams, right? So the first I am that we're going to talk about, or that I would like to share, is I am achieving a calm mind as I breathe out my worries. Like, think about that. Inhale confidence. Exhale doubt, right? Like really achieving a calm mind so that I can think through, right? So that I can breathe out my worries, get those worries, get that trash, get that negative, that garbage, right, out of your mind, so that you can focus on achieving the success that you want in whatever it is, right? Whatever relationship it is, whatever communication piece it is, whatever job, whatever duty, whatever it might be, friendship, whatever, right? Like, you want to achieve, and you can do that through a calm mind and breathing out your worry. So that's number one. Number two, my brain has more important things to do than being stressed out. Think about that for a second. Your brain has more important things to do. We don't have time. Time is not like really to be wasted on just frivolous thoughts or thoughts that really just don't matter. We have so much, there's so much importance in the purpose of our life. Like if we are here on purpose, right? Like we're here to make something happen for the future, for the world, for our families, for whatever duties that we've been placed on here. It's on purpose. It did not happen by accident. So what we want to do is we want to continue to focus and keep that same energy and recognizing that my brain has more important things than being stressed out. That's number 2. Number 3, I am stronger than my problems. Wow. Wow. A lot of times we work out, right? We're building that muscle. We're building that strength. Same thing with the mind. Same thing with the spirit, right? Each and every single day, getting better. That's that 1%. But really, really, really recognizing that I am stronger than my problems. The things that are going around me, guess what? They're happening, right? They're happening. They're out of my control. But what I can control is myself. So I am stronger than my problems. The 4th thing, I know this feeling will not last forever. Oftentimes, we're in situations, we're in circumstances where it feels like this is like the most important thing and this is the most impactful thing that's ever happened to my life. But guess what? Won't last forever. This feeling won't last forever, right? So if you're at a downtime, if you're at a high time, right? Like let's continue to recognize the feelings that we have, right? And if they're negative, get out of them. If they're positive, like put a stamp on that. Say, yep, we're going to keep that in a memory bank. Right? We're going to use that as motivation, as encouragement, as consistent dedication to recognize this is what I like. This is what I want. This is the reason why I go out and do the things that I do to get this feeling, right? But those negative feelings, they won't last forever. They won't last forever. So let's not focus on the negative and let's focus on the positive. But you want to know what? Let me correct that a little bit. Let's remember those negative things and allow that to push us forward because we recognize that because of those negative things or however those negative things happen, I had a piece in it. I had a part. I'm taking accountability and I'm doing now what I need to do in order to get back to the positive. Okay. So again, right. Feelings, they don't last forever. Ooh, I had a couple conversations. Man, I had a couple conversations talking about, different emotions and different heartfelt things and, relationship things that, oh man, I can't wait to dive into that. But man, had those conversations and they dealt pretty much with feelings, right? And how you should be moving in your feelings. Well, no. Feelings don't last forever, right? Like there's a mix of emotions that come from time to time, right? So we just got to figure out how to manage through them and how to get through them, right? And then the last one, I remain positive even when a situation feels negative. I remain positive even when a situation feels negative, right? There are so many situations that come against you that can look terrible, right? But how are you controlling your thought process? How are you correcting, right, some of the situational things that are happening that are trying to affect who you are, right? Who you're becoming, right? You got to look at it like, hey, everything is coming against me to try to hold me back, right? Like things are coming up, things have happened to me, right? And there's a lot of whys that come up to it, but recognize what happened and recognize what you want to happen. Right? Recognize what you want to happen. That's how we're talking about this course correct, right? If I'm looking at my GPS, right, and I see that I've went the wrong way, but I know where I want to be, now I'm correcting my course in order to get where I want to be. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about really being in full control of your mind, even more control, should I say, of your mind that will allow you to achieve the success, the goals in your relationships, in your finances, in your professions, whatever it might be, in your business. If you're an entrepreneur like myself, and if you're working constantly on trying to improve or on improving, I shouldn't say trying to, on improving, then that means that you need more and more control. If you're a control freak, I'm a control freak. Okay. Like, hey, you recognize the need for the control, right? So again, remain positive, even when a situation feels negative. I am that thing, right? So let's hold our thoughts captive, right? And recognize, okay, this is a good thought. This is a negative thought. Look on our left, look on our right. Let's recognize that, hey, I can move through this. I am worthy. Period. That's why I'm wearing a t-shirt today, right? Shout out to Shop Confidence. The apparel, like this is your brand. Your brand is you walking out of the house each and every single day, you going into those meetings, you having those conversations with friends, family, or whatever it might be. That is who you are, right? So control the way that you're thinking. And let's have a mentality of who we want to be. You know what? I heard this. I heard this on the Pivot podcast, Pivot Mindset podcast, right? Justin Carter. Shout out to you, bro. He said something. He said, instead of the mindset of the do, have, be mentality, we need to have more of and develop a mentality of be, have, do. Okay, let's dive into that just a little bit, right? So the old school do, have, be, it was like, hey, you got to do this thing so that you can have these things so you can become the person that you need to become, right? Was like, no. Let me change the mindset, right? Let's make a mindset shift. Let's make a course correct, right? And be that successful individual, right? Now, material wise, it may not look like it, right? But mentally, you can flip the switch and you can be a huge success, right? In your relationships, you can be a huge success at your current situation, which will add on to and continue to climb those steps, climb that ladder, right? And you're striving towards greatness and you're striving towards being the best, right? Being a good person, right? Being the right person. Ooh, I talked about that in another conversation. I got to bring that young lady on the podcast because that was pretty powerful. We talked about instead of being focused on being great, right? Getting overwhelmed with being great, be the right person. Be the right person. And the right person is you, because there's only one you. Like, you're number one, but we'll go into that, right? We'll go into that a little bit later. Again, right? Develop that be, have, do mentality. That be, have, do mentality will allow for you to become that person, have the things, right? So, like I said, my god brother, he told me this a while back, right? He was like, love what you have instead of want what you have instead of have what you want. It's like, what does that mean? I don't understand. Like, can you break that apart for me? He was like, well, there's a lot of things that you can, kind of grab and not be appreciative, and, material things and relationships, and, hey, I have this, I have that, I have this, and not like really have any value in it. But once you start valuing the things that you already have, the relationships that you have, right, that are good, right? The good things that you have, once you start showing them value, once you start showing them care, now guess what? As the more important things come about, they come about perfectly within perfect time, right? And you continue to be appreciative. You continue to have a mentality of like, I'm thankful, gratefulness, right? You're able to walk around the house and look at things and say, man, that's not useless. That's important to me, right? Now you are having, like, you are wanting the things that you have, right? So just real quick, just switch your mentality from the do, have, be to now the be, have, do. All right. So let's dive in a little bit deeper, talking about course correct, because I want to give you guys some tips. I want to give you some signs like that, hey, if I'm being emotionally, because that's, a lot of times we fall into the like, hey, where am I? Right? Where am I? What's going on? What am I doing? How do I even recognize, right, that I'm being reactive or emotionally off course, right? So here's a few tips. And a few signs, right, that you're being emotionally reactive. So first off, the signs. So this first one, number one, you are affronted at the slightest little thing. Like, think about that. Like you're offended. Any little thing, like something comes at you, you're automatically, boom, slightest little thing, you're jumping, right? You're reacting, you're emotionally charged up, so to speak, right? And then the next thing is number two, the reaction is often out of proportion to the situation. Ooh. Think about that. Someone might say something not even thinking, right, what you might be receiving it as, but because of however your mind is currently, right, you receive it and you react on a much higher scale. And it's like, whoa, no. I didn't mean it like that. Well, you said it like this, or you thought it like this, or you looked at me a certain way. It's like, no. Like, that's not what we're doing here. Right? Get out of your head. You're in your head right now, right? Get out of your head and focus on, don't react. Don't react out of proportion to a situation. That's a sign that you're being emotionally reactive, right? Number three, the frequently storm off in a cloud of self-righteousness. Ooh, self-righteousness, right? When things aren't going exactly to plan. Like, think about it. Frequently storm off, right? Frequently just storming off, upset, right? In a cloud of self-righteousness, like I'm better than this, or I deserve more, or I did this. When things aren't going to plan, it's like, you're being it's this is a really good, oh my gosh, this is an awesome podcast because I've had so many conversations where people will negatively be like, you're being emotional. You're being emotional. Well, it's like, that's the perspective. That's the vantage point, right? That individual might have, which allows them or which causes them to react in this manner, right? But that's a them thing, not a you thing. So there's no reason for you to point that out. Neither here nor there. I can go down a long path with that, but we won't, right? So that's number 3. You frequently storm off in a cloud of self-righteousness when things aren't going exactly to plan. Number 4, you believe circumstances have caused your reaction, leaving you feeling buffeted by the storms of life, right? So like you're just, oh man, you're down, right? Like you're down and circumstances have caused you to, kind of emotionally react like this, right? I mean, and that like the storms of life happen. Storms of life happen, right? Different seasons, different people, different times, different ages, they happen. They're going to happen as long as we're breathing, as long as we're living, right? So our job is to mentally like prepare ourselves for them. But that's just another example, right? Another sign that you could be emotionally reactive, right? That all these circumstances are causing your reaction where you can truly be in control of that reaction. All right, the next one, next sign of being emotionally reactive, right? People find you prickly and hard to be around, right? That's a sign that you're emotionally reactive, right? If people don't want to be around you, then you may want to like really check the way that you're responding to things, right? The next one, you can become defensive and resentful if you perceive someone to have criticized you. Ooh. That is huge. That is huge. I've had so many conversations with so many people where they're like, yo, hey, man, like, I really don't like this person, or, I got this wall up and I really resent this person for all the things that they did. Whoa, 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 whoa. They criticize you based on either growth or their lack of knowledge, right? So get out of don't become defensive. Don't become resentful, right? Of said situation, but take a deeper dive, be accountable, right? That's what we talk about on Holla Black, right? We talk about being brave, being a leader, right? Being accountable to communicating knowledge. Like find that accountability even in you to recognize, right? The criticism that's coming around you, if it's true, if it's not, right? And take it in and change it, course correct, or release it and let that thing go with the wind, because that's another person's issue, something that you can't control, right? All you can control is what you can, right? Another sign that you're being emotionally reactive. Rage can consume you at very short notice and with the tiniest provocation, right? Like to be provoked, right? Like just the tiniest thing, the smallest thing. You begin to rage up. You begin to get just off the meat, right? Just totally blow your top, like upset, out of control. At the short notice, at the tiniest bit of provocation, right? Like that's you being out of control, right? That's you allowing for situations, everything else around you to cause you to just go into that state. Now, the next sign. There can be a theme to your outburst, but you're not sure what it is. Ooh. Think about that. Like outbursts, there's themes to it. Whatever situation, whatever circumstance, if you're with a certain person, right? You're not sure what it is, but you know that you're constantly going, like that's taking a deep dive. That's taking an evaluation. That's looking at self and saying, hey, where am I? What am I doing? And how can I make this change? That's legit, like what, one of the signs of, again, right, emotionally reaction. And then lastly, right, you can feel powerless with little sense of agency. You feel powerless, right? You feel like, hey, woe is me, right? I don't have, the things I can't do the things I can't, control this, or everything always happens to me. And like you're emotionally react. Right? Like you're assuming that everything negative is going to happen, right? So that's being emotionally reactive. Those are signs that you're being emotionally reactive and that you need to course correct. Okay. So now Let's look towards, okay, Ronell, we went down a negative path, right? We talked about all the ways that, I could be emotionally reactive. Now, how do we get out of this? How do we, what are some tips, right, that support us to be less reactive? So, okay, I'm gonna give you six. And the sixth one is really important, right? But I'm gonna give you six and they're gonna build up, right? So, number one, right? Think about responding rather than reacting. Now, here we go, right? Course correct. Here we go. Mentality. Here we go with the be, have, do mentality, right? Like, so I'm being the person that I have the things. Now I can do the things, right? Like, so be that person, right? Think about responding rather than reacting. This may involve reframing how you experience life. Wow. Got my big sis, Dr. Jada. Oh my goodness, Dr. Jada Jackson. Oh my God. JJ, shout out to you with the reframing book. She wrote a book and it's called Reframe Your Life, right? And it's how you experience life, right? How are you reframing the things, the situations, the what happened to you, right? And instead of being concerned and consumed with the why, right, you now look at, hey, what can I do? How can I course correct? How can I take myself in a different direction that gets me to where I ultimately want to be? So number one, think about responding rather than reacting, right? Number two, take a breath. It's too easy, right? Like, it sounds too easy. Take a breath. Just take by yourself a millisecond of time before you react. Think about that. Like, a lot of times you can immediately react. And it's like, whoa, I'm sorry. I was dealing with some other stuff that caused me to react. Now you got to go back. Now you got to apologize. Now you have to do the things now you got to be accountable for the negative stuff that you just did, right? So just take a moment, take a breath. No one's going to give you, it's that, what Jay-Z say, what Jay-Z say, that pregnant pause, right? Just take a pause, right? Take a pause for the cause. Take that breath, right? And allow yourself to have that time before you react, okay? That's number two. Number three, get to know your triggers. Ooh. Get to know the things that set you off. Get to know the things that, take you to that next level, right? Get to know them so that now you can be prepared. You can mentally be focused on, how can I not allow for these things to cause me to react in a manner that I definitely don't want, right? So that's number three, get to know your triggers. Number four, replenish your energy. We talk about this all the time in the health and fitness aspect, right? Getting rest to be your best. You got to replenish, right? You need recharges, right? You need to power some stuff down, right? They can't have this energy, right? They can't have my energy, that good energy, right? So let's turn that down. Let me refresh, let me recharge, and let me replenish my energy, right? Think about that. That's what going to the gym does for me. That's what drinking water does for me. That's what getting rest does for me. That's what being around my loved ones. That's what's being around people, honestly. Pandemic, oh my goodness, drove me crazy, right? Like, I was stressed out. I was tired all the time because I didn't have the people around me that gave me the charge that they would normally do. Okay, so that's number four. Number five, rephrase your script. Rephrase your script, your story, right? Write your story down. Talk about your story. Think it through. Think about, like, how much negative you pour into your story. Now let's think about the positive aspects, right? Like, let's rephrase your script, rephrase your story to all the positive things, and let's build on that, right? And then lastly, number six, I told you we were going to end at six and it was going to be phenomenal, but it's pretty simple and pretty understanding, especially right now, right? Speak to a therapist. What? Why do I have to talk to anybody? I don't need to talk to anybody. I can fix my own situations. Well, I mean, if you don't like where you are and you don't have the life that you want, change the mindset. And success starts off with the mind. What does a therapist do? Help you course correct in your mind, right? Help you with the mentality. And if you can't find a good one, there's plenty of different places. I'll make sure to, kind of give those recommendations in the notes, in the description as well. But like, yeah, hey, Google it, find it, talk to somebody, like figure out, hey, talk to your, people at work or whatever, like your HR department. They have a great host of areas and ways that you can get some assistance and get some direction into helping you mentally go the direction that you would like to go to. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite host and MC, Ronell. That's it for me, man. I just really want to, really want to tack the purpose, right? Accelerate your progress. I want us to, be critical in our own heads, right? And not allow for outside circumstances to affect who we are, who we want to be, right? And have a perception, right, of data changes, a perceived, a replenish, a reframing of our mind that leaves us to where we don't emotionally react, right? So let's have some self-talk. Let's correct that mind. Let's course correct each and every single opportunity that we get. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman, and I truly appreciate the time that you've taken right here with me. Please like the podcast, share it, write some comments down. Give me some thoughts like, hey, did you have you practiced any of these? Have you noticed any of these emotionally reactive areas in your space, right? And then let's figure out like how, and tell me if you use some of the tips, right? Like, let me know if there's a therapist that you suggest, you recommend. Let's build this community, right? While having conversation. Once again, it's your favorite host and MC, Ronell Blackman. Holla Black. Be a brave leader, accountable to communicating knowledge one day at a time. Like I said, I'm on this 100-day quest, and I'm looking forward to being 100% better by the start of 2023. Holla Black at your boy. Have a great one, and I look forward to seeing you again. Peace.